testimony. She cried in my arms at work. Eve needs to humble herself before Jacob's trouble. Salakia, I didn't upload a video yesterday. Man, crazy at my job, Nonetheless, though, I want to give all the honor, glory, and praise to Yahawah, Bahashem YAHAWASHI, Bahashem RAWACHAA QADASH. Double honors to my elders at Great Millstone who rule well. Singing honors to the elect. Peace and blessings to the 1/3 and to the confusion that faces in the four corners of the earth. Shalom, shalom. Now, this video is not to bash on women, which we don't. We just speak the truth, but it is what it is. But there's this Judahite at my job, right? And she has 2 kids, from 2 different men, And me, I don't be talking to chicks like that anyway. But the day I got hired onto this job, she was pretty much in my class, so to say, in orientation. So as time goes on, we talk everything, and just all friendly. A little flirtatious here, a little flirtatious there. There's people at my job that have my number specifically, so if they need me for anything, I can be there because I'm like the transporter. I transport parts from parts or on tools from one hangar to another, right? So she works in the other hangar, whatever. And so she stopped seeing me for the first maybe 3 weeks after we first started orientation. You know what I'm saying? I didn't see her that often. I didn't really know what she was working at. So then we kind of caught up in everything. Now I know what she worked at exactly over there. So the more we talk, right, I noticed this about women. They start to open up to you when they're really comfortable with you. So she started telling me her situation and everything. She has a 9-year-old son, and she's 25. Let that sink in. She has a 9-year-old son, and she's 25. And I think she had like a 5-year-old daughter, right? The son wasn't planned, and it wasn't her choice. Let's just leave it at that. During that time, she was at that age. But the second child, her daughter, she actually planned with a dude, but they're not together anymore. So one day she texted me. She was like, "What you doing for lunch?" I'm like, whatever. She said she wanted to talk to me, but never mind. I just said, all right, let me go over and see what she want. She never asked nothing like that, so I went over there. I was like, what's up? What's going on? She was sitting in her chair. She just kind of looked at me. She was like, man, just so much. And then she just took her glasses off, kind of put them on the table, and just started crying. Not boohoo crying, but crying. Man, I ain't never met the chick outside of work. We ain't did nothing. Only thing we ever did was hug. That was it. Simple. Keep it moving. You know what I'm saying? She started crying, and she was sitting in the chair, and it was a rolling chair, so I'm kind of it'll be all right, So I kind of pulled the chair towards me. I put my arm on her shoulder, whatever. And then I just told her to just get up, and I just gave her a hug. She just kept crying in my chest and my arms. And the thing was, the whole situation was, she said, it's just so hard. It's just so hard. Now remind you, the chick act hood. She talk hood and country. But she don't have ill intentions. But damn, every time I see you, you come to work with stitches because somebody stabbed you. You come to work with scratches on your face because you fighting. Deep down inside, that whole independent woman thing and going to school and all that shit don't make them happy. That does not make them happy. All right? These women out here are not happy. If they not happy, I damn sure know the men ain't happy either, because at the end of the day, women have access to sex, men have access to relationships. Y'all choose who y'all want to have sex with. And the shit get hard out here. We're talking about times where everything is civilized. Me and this woman ain't never had sex and kissing, did nothing but simple hugs. Right? And flirt a little bit. I just do that shit to pass the time. I don't want to deal with no woman that had children, let alone by 2 different men, but it's not the point. You see the frustration she have? So think about all the women out here who actually are hard-headed, who really wicked, who don't repent, who don't believe YAHAWASHI. Do you think the Lord going to really care about their tears? About their children? Because a lot of them people, they be the same people that speak against us, the prophets. the messengers, the disciples, the apostles, speak ill of us because we testify thereof that their works thereof are evil. You know? And like, I had sympathy for her, I ain't gonna lie, but it's kind of like the way you portray yourself, man. First impression is the lasting impression. But that's not really who you are. It's fake. And see, this is why men are supposed to lead. This is why men are supposed to lead. When a woman leads herself, when she goes astray, she has much liberty over her body. Supposed to keep her in straight. Hold on, let me get a precept. This is Sirach, Ecclesiasticus chapter 7, verse 23 and 24 and 25 in the Apocrypha, the 1611 King James Version Bible. Verse 23. Hast thou children, instruct them, and bow down their neck from their youth? Hast thou daughters? Yeah? Have a care of their body, and shew not thyself cheerful toward them. Talk about your daughter. Oh, little princess. Yes, you will put down your life for your daughter and your son. I know, but that's why they say that's daddy's girl, right? But guess what? How do you think women survive throughout all humanity? It's called manipulation. And manipulation is not a bad thing. It all depends on how you use it. How else would women survive during warring times or times of distress, right? So you have to be stern with your daughters so that as she goes on to be another man's servant, she won't fold under pressure. She understands what it's like when the man say yes and the man says no and the man says stop and the man says go. Women today have too much liberty. Because why? Their father wasn't around. Why? Because their mother was having sex with who they wanted to. Why? Because he made her tingle. Rather than being with a man of substance. I'm not talking about no one in particular, but I'm just looking at the state. It was a time when men were only able to have sex with women if they were to marry, quote unquote, right? Which we know through the Bible, marriage is sex. But hell, if you're just frivolously out here having sex with any and everybody, you're going to wind up being pregnant and by yourself. Just in general, like, it's like sex is always about us just wanting to have the sensation, but not what can manifest. We just want the sensation, not the manifestation of another life. So you never plan for the child, you just plan the climax. But there's not as an 18-year quote-unquote contract for a man if you don't want to be with that woman and she want to put him on child support. So, Sirach chapter 7, verse 24, hast thou daughters, have a care of their body, and shew not thyself cheerful toward them. Marry thy daughter, and so shalt thou have performed a weighty matter. But give her to a man of understanding. So the father's supposed to give his daughter to a man that he has vetted to be his son-in-law, which she will bear his seeds, that will be his children, but that will be his lineage from his daughter. And he has to raise her up to be a wife from the time she's a little girl to being a young woman. So, without the father, you won't have that hedge. So, with that being said, like I said, this is not about no woman in particular, but the reason why she's going through these things because really it goes back to not, and if the father was around, what was his father? And so forth and so forth. And this is not talking about nobody. You got to understand the circumstances of why a lot of women end up in this situation. It's all emotional. It's not logical. It's not sound. This is Sirach chapter 25. Sirach chapter 26, verse 10. If thy daughter be shameless, keep her in straitly, lest she abuse herself through overmuch liberty. What do it mean over liberty? What did it say in Sirach? Damn, who was just there? Sirach 7, if I'm not mistaken. What did it say? It says, have care over her body. Even the Bible knows that a woman's physical appeal is what a man sees first. The Lord knows that because what was Eve created for Adam for? To be his servant, his helpmeet, his aid. his comfort, his pillar of rest. You think you gonna find a one of these women today? Shit, okay. But she displayed that quote unquote masculinity, but I could see the feminine spirit in her. That's why she broke down in my arms. And she did tell me before she had a bipolar disorder, but she was crying. It's like, it's nobody but me. I'm down here by myself. It's just me and my kids. I've been trying to find him for 7 years, yada, 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 you know, for child support, this and that, things like that. But it's like, because you're not supposed to do it by yourself, you know? But that's another reason why we got to get the hell up out of this place, man. For real. But women, humble yourselves. It's going to get bad out here. And you got to think about it. There's so many men out here that have disdain for women because, one, majority of them can't even get with the women or get their attention. Because 80% of men to women are invisible. And in addition, two, if you ain't got no money, if you ain't 6 feet tall, make a 6 figure, 6 pack, 6 inches, all that bullshit they won't be talking about. They want you. Right? They want you if you got all that. If you don't, you got a chance. Then on top of that, all these men that have lost everything through divorce and child support. Man, wait till Jacob's trouble come. Jacob ain't gonna be the only one getting it. Everybody gonna be getting in America. But you women have no... Let me get this straight. You unbelieving wicked women have no clue. You ain't gonna have no hedge in that day. Because there's always been gender wars out here. Now they got this other gender beat. I leave it alone. But you know what I mean. Man and woman, feminism, misogyny, misandry, chauvinistic, yada yada yada. All the, okay. Wait till it's complete anarchy and EMP and everything shut down. You women will resort to your natural estate. You will. By default, you will use what you have as a woman, which is just your body in that last day. And that's just, and then being 100. What else you gonna offer a man when he could take it from you? There's no hedge. You know? Then I feel for the women who actually do want to be a woman, a servant to her husband, a man, a feminine woman, timid, bashful. I've seen women like that. I don't even know them, but if someone was to break out, I would want to protect them for some apparent reason. Cause they display that vulnerability about themselves. Right? That's what's attractive to a man. But anyhow, let me get back to something else. Let me get back. It's a lot. Isaiah chapter 32, verse 1. Verse 2. And a man shall be as in a hiding place from the wind. The wind will be the destruction to come from the ICBMs. In a covert from the tempest, which would be a storm, very strong windy storm, as rivers of water in a dry place that's like an oasis in the middle of a desert, right? As the shadow of a great rock in a weary land. So if you're out there in the desert and it's hot, if you see a big boulder and you can get on the other side of it where the sun is on the other side, oh my God, man, that's what we feel like to you, women. That's what a man gonna be like in the last day. But a man of the Lord, let's get that really quick. Isaiah chapter 13. Y'all must have forgot why y'all was created. For us. Isaiah 13 and 11. And I will punish the world for their evil and the wicked for their iniquity. And I will cause the arrogancy of the proud to cease. Ooh, a lot of you women out there like that. And you dumb jakes too. And will lay low the haughtiness of the terrible. Here comes the point. I will make a man more precious than fine gold. Even a man than the golden wedge of Ophir. Oh yes, indeed. The Lord said that, and it will happen. So, I'm going to end up with these last precepts. Isaiah chapter 32, verse 9. Rise up, ye women that are at ease. Hear my voice, ye careless daughters. Give ear unto my speech. Right? Verse 10. Many days and years shall ye be troubled, ye careless women, for the vintage shall fail, the gathering shall not come. Verse 11. Tremble ye women that are at ease, be troubled. Jacob's trouble. Y'all women not going to be exempt. You wicked, unbelieving women. Let me get that straight. Right? I I always say it. Lord willing, I always remember to say it. I always say, double honors to the elders, seeking honors to the elect, and peace and blessings be to all the sincere men, women, and children that believe in YAHAWASHI, and even to the confusion of faces. Somebody got to be saved, and everybody gonna be saved in all those groups. Right? Anyhow, let's get back. Isaiah chapter 32, verse 11 again. Tremble, ye women that are at ease, be troubled, ye careless ones. Strip you and make you bare. Listen to what it's strip you and make you bare. Strip you and make you bare, and gird sackcloth upon your loins, meaning that all them tinkling ornaments, all your perfumes, all that no, out the window. You're not gonna have it in that day like that. Right? That's why I say 7 women shall take hold of 1 man. So if you got you a man in the Lord, or if you have a man and he believes this and you don't, but you love him, you better treat that man like gold. Finer than that, if anything, like the Lord said, man. Right. But I'm gonna, matter of fact, I'm gonna leave on this note for those sisters that do believe. At the end of the day, there are sisters who will be saved. Very sincere sisters who will be saved. And I love this passage because you can't say, man, that we are real misanders and we hate women. Get me bent. Love women. This is Matthew chapter 24, verse 40. I just can't stand y'all crazy ones. Matthew chapter 24, verse 40. There shall 2 be in the field, and 1 shall be taken, and the other left. What does that mean, taken? Being up in the chariots, where the world didn't call UFOs. Notice that there was no distinction in that verse. Listen to the next verse. Matthew 24 and 41. To women. And then they also italicized the word women. To women, look that word up, italicized. ITALICIZED. Alright. 2 women shall be grinding at the mill, working. The 1 shall be taken, and the other left. So you sincere sisters, you want to be the one that's taken and not left. So with that being said, humble yourselves and stay that way. Alright, pray you was edified and fed. Stay in the spirit. Don't fear it, just endure it. Ask for forgiveness. Pray without ceasing. Stay humble. Remain diligent. Mashallah. Shalom.